Narcissists and the truth go together kind of like oil and water, and nothing is really off limits. If you've been with a narcissist, you know this. But there are some common lies that all narcissists tell, and we are going to cover those in today's video. Let's get to it. Welcome to the Common Ego community. My name is Christina. On this channel, we talk about emotional abuse, spirituality, and self-development. Today, we're talking about the lies that all narcissists tell in one way or another. So if you have been with a narcissist, you're going to have heard some version of one of these lies, if not all of them. Before we get to that, if you like this topic, if you can relate to anything that I'm talking about here today, please do go ahead and hit that like button. It does help the channel and it helps this video get in front of more people who might need to hear this message. So in talking through the lies that narcissists tell, it's not so much about commiserating, although that can be an important part of the healing process too. It's more about validation, and it's about finally making sense of things that didn't make sense for so long, and understanding that you're not the only one who has been here. Yes, it can be frustrating, infuriating even, but you're not alone. There's an entire community of people who have dealt with the negative effects of having a relationship of one sort or another with a narcissist. So let's jump into the lies that narcissists tell. Number one is, you can be vulnerable with me. Now, they may outright say this. They may actually tell you that you can be vulnerable, that it's safe to share your stories, your experiences, your feelings, your hardships. But unfortunately, if you're dealing with a narcissist, it's not safe. Now, this isn't something that you're going to be able to use to determine whether you're dealing with a narcissist, because in reality, you should be able to be vulnerable with people who are close to you. So if somebody is telling you that you should be vulnerable with them, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a narcissist, but this is a lie that all narcissists tell in one way or another. Now, they may do this by making you feel comfortable. They might not actually say the words, or they might do this by asking you questions and telling stories from their own life to kind of help you let that guard down. So the second lie that all narcissists tell is, you can rely on me, and or I've got your back. And unfortunately, even if the person that you're dealing with, the highly narcissistic person, even if they mean it in the moment, really there's only one person that they're out for, and that is themselves. A narcissist will only ever cover their own back. And yes, maybe they'll do nice things for you or for other people if it's convenient for them, or if they can get something out of it. But if it comes down to it, if they just flat out don't want to do something for you, they're not going to do it. And so they might create this feeling kind of like, we're in this together, you know, I've got your back, you've got mine. Unfortunately, most of us end up finding this out at the worst possible time, that the other person isn't really there for you. In fact, they can very quickly change their tune. So they can go from being your best friend and somebody who's in your corner, somebody who's there for you, to being somebody who is absolutely against you, somebody who's smearing your name or doing things actively to hurt you. And unfortunately, a lot of us end up feeling foolish for trusting this person in the first place. But really, if you're in this place, it's not your fault. It's by design. These are part of the core lies that narcissists tell to get you to let your guard down and to get you to trust them. The third lie that all narcissists tell is, it's not my fault. So whatever goes wrong, it cannot be their fault. And even if they seem like they're taking responsibility for something, usually what they'll take responsibility for is something small or adjacent to what's really going on. Narcissists notoriously do not take responsibility for their bad behavior. And I have learned from experience that they're also really, really good at justifying their bad behavior. So instead of taking responsibility, instead of saying, yes, I shouldn't have done that, they might say something like, I did that because of this. And to some people, it can even come across as a really good explanation. Somebody who doesn't have the whole story might hear the justification because they're really good at justifying things. Somebody might hear that justification and be on that narcissist's side because, well, it can't be their fault. They're totally justified in doing the bad things they did. But when you've been around a narcissist long enough, this gets old really fast. And you might start to notice that you get irritated even when you see them doing this with other people, because you know how satisfying it would be if this person ever just took responsibility for anything. So the third lie that all narcissists tell is it will get better. And unfortunately, if you've been there, and I'm going to guess you have, you know where this ends. And with a narcissist, it never gets better. It only gets worse. If they have devalued you, if they have discarded you, if they have used you as a punching bag, it's going to be so much easier for them to do it in the future, and they will. But even before it gets to that point, you may notice some variation of this in what we call future faking. So this is when a narcissist will promise you everything that you want. So let's say this is a romantic relationship and you want to get married, you want to have kids. That's going to be what the narcissist promises to you, that this is what we're working towards and we are so close to it. And it's always going to be a carrot that they're going to dangle in front of you, that you're not going to want to walk away because you're just so close to getting everything you've wanted. Even though things are bad, they're going to get better. Except they're not. This can happen with a narcissistic boss too, that can dangle a promotion in front of you or a raise. Really, like I said, these are lies that all narcissists tell, and they may tell them in different ways, but it's all the same lie. Number 5, I'm the most honest person you'll ever meet. Yeah, unfortunately, it kind of works unless you've encountered somebody like this before. And then you know that somebody who's really honest doesn't need to tell you how honest they are. But as people, we like to give other people the benefit of the doubt. And if somebody tells you they're really honest, you want to believe them. It's not until you get much deeper into the relationship that you realize how untrue this one really is. Even if the narcissist tries to avoid outright lies, they're always going to have secrets. Narcissists always need supply. When you have a lot to hide, it's difficult not to lie. You need to lie to keep those secrets, to keep those skeletons in the closet. Even when they aren't outright lying to you, they might be omitting large chunks of information that would be really helpful for you to know. Let's look at a friendship as an example now. So let's say you're friends with a narcissist and they have tickets to a game that you want to go to. And so they've got you jumping through hoops because they know you want these tickets, right? And so they're asking you for favors and they're really taking advantage of this. Now, it sure would be helpful to know that they already gave the tickets to someone else, but a narcissist probably isn't going to volunteer that information if it's going to stand in the way of them getting what they want. And this is one of those cases, this is one of those like gray areas that's not really a gray area. Just because they're not outright lying, just because they're not saying, well, I didn't give these tickets away, they're just omitting the information, doesn't mean they're being honest. They are not being honest. I believe that's what they call lies of omission. And they're very, very popular among narcissists. The 6th lie is, I'm going to change. I am going to be nicer. I am going to do the things that you want me to do around here. And this is a lie that you're only going to hear when the narcissist needs something from you. So if they need you as supply, let's say they discarded you and they're coming back on a Hoover because they need supply and you are the fastest route to get there, they're going to promise you the world. They're going to promise you that things are going to get better, that they're going to maybe go to counseling, or they're going to be nicer to you, improve their behavior. But if you've been here, again, you know that this is infuriatingly false. So the 7th lie you may hear from a narcissist is harsh. It's a difficult one to hear, and it's a difficult one to talk about now too. But the lie is, I love you. It's unfortunate and it's sad all around. Because narcissists are deficient in emotional empathy, they have trouble making the types of connections that are necessary for true love. And this lack of empathy is also what allows them to hurt people without remorse. And if you've been here, I feel for you because I've been here too. And it's at this moment when you realize this lie, you probably end up feeling like you've been betrayed. You might be thinking things like, how could somebody who ever loved me treat me in this way? How can someone who supposedly cares so much be so cruel? And unfortunately, it is the lack of empathy that allows a narcissist to do that, to switch off the kindness and switch on the hate, just like that. And the last lie that all narcissists will tell is, you're worthless. That's a lie. And unfortunately, it's one that so many of us end up believing, because after years of abuse, after years of gaslighting, we lose touch with who we truly are. We lose touch with our sense of self and self-worth. And if you're in this place after a relationship with a narcissist, regardless of what kind of relationship it is, I want to share a video with you that has some powerful affirmations to help you get through this time. Now, of course, affirmations aren't going to be the only thing to help heal you, but they can really help you get off to a good start. So I'm going to pop this video right over here, and I'll see you next time.